Alright, welcome everyone, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Mushoku Tensei, Season 1, Episode 15.
Alright.
Gramps got his head cut off.
He's dead.
Oh boy.
He's been decapped.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got that spy master from the kingdom in Berserk that's apparently going to be his replacement, maybe.
Yeah, that's its whole situation for Toa and all that.
Indeed.
But on the Rudeus and Co. side of things, we've saved the Beastkin village.
Yeah,
the Doldia group there. And okay, we could see something about them bringing this into the connection with Ghislaine. We could just see this being just a stopping point, and then we continue on our journey. Yep. But yes, and then the other one were very much ready to receive their switches. They weren't excited about it.
No, but they would endure it.
They would endure the pain.
Yes, because it was the only way to make up for the way they treated Rudeus.
Yes. Yep. Very sorry.
I just really hope that the Sacred Beast continues on the journey with Rudeus and Co.
What will that name the Sacred Beast, though?
Fluffers.
Oh, fluffers. Floofers.
Yeah.
Yes. Poofers.
The demon beast of
yes,
viciousness.
The sacred beast sent from the divine gate. The one that will guide people to eternals. It's floofers. Yes.
That's how you make it so that our good friend Richard can redeem the reputation of the Spurred. He's just giving the dog scritches everywhere they go.
And they're like,
oh, well,
clearly the
trustworthy,
beast god,
yes.
the beast god has given such favor upon Ruijerd. The Spurds are
even if he's
are
a
being
Spurred.
redeemed. Yes.
Yeah, dead end. No. He's totally trustworthy. Look at the dog likes him.
They're like, wait a minute. The Spurds are also degenerates? They fondle sacred beasts? Oh,
what will they do next?
What horrible monsters.
But yeah.
Here we go. We had our little side quest here. Let's see how long they stay. And y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Ooh.
Fun.
Sounds lively.
Swimming? Nice. Fun. Aww.
Yep,
Cute.
I was waiting for that.
Yep.
Okay, Solid Snake.
Snake! Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Yep.
They're like, yeah.
But there are limits. The way the box just exploded.
And perfectly arrayed, out.
Yep,
so it's not even like it was that sturdy to begin with. It just oh.
Yeah, that's a lot of patience.
Oh, so proud. Oh. 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 Uh-oh. It's awkwardly quiet. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, well, nope, this is
she
bad.
like the estranged sister or something?
Maybe she abandoned them. Yeah.
Well.
They're like, figures. Yep. Yeah, and you're not going to change that by...
Right.
And it's
God,
cool
I love
to
this show.
understand, like, you know, perspectives being different, even though the reasons why they might find Ghislaine not respectable or have nothing to do with the reasons why they find her respectable, you know?
Right.
Aunt Ghislaine, yeah. Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Yeah. Will you teach me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
How can you say no to that face?
Right. Yeah, I think he's gonna begrudgingly let this happen because he's like, that's fine. I love the friend. Like, you got this.
Ganbate.
Yeah. And look at her now. Sword King. Oh, he knows what that is too. That's a good joke. Yeah. You're serious. Oh,
I did it.
People change.
Oh my god.
Oh, dang.
Holy shit.
Wow. There we go. It's so simple, but it's just... Wow. She's having fun, too.
Yeah.
Wow, they stayed here for 3 months. All right. Oh, that's why they can't leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh. Ah!
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
Shit.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh!
The harem grows.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, good job. Yeah. You understand the responsibility of, you know, setting a good example, even though, you know, she, you know, she clearly stepped over a line and... Yeah. Teach your friend now, and then you guys can practice together with the things that you've learned from Eris. Whoa. Dang. No.
そしたらミリスへ向かって一直線です。一度外に出てしまったらすぐには戻ってこれませんよ。
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
何しに来たのよ。わがまま言ってごめんなさいにゃ。仕方ないわね。
Oh, that was the. Oh, sweet. That's sweet. That's really cute. Shit.
Wow.
That'll change the whole reputation of this town.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you weren't hanging out with them that much at all, so
Yeah.
didn't see it. No.
Yeah.
No.
何よ。
What?
I want to spar with Ghislaine's student.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right.
Yes. All right. Let's just have some just great animation to get
Finish off this emotional episode with cool ass fight.
Yep. No blunting blades or anything. We're just
Yeah.
just going straight for the real thing here.
It's like one of the swords gonna break or something.
What? Yeah. What happened? Ah, cool.
Okay.
私が勝つから。
Oh.
Okay.
In that speed, he actually touched her just barely with a
Right.
sword or something. Or Eris will explain it here in the cart.
Yeah. Okay.
Aw. Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Uh-huh. And permanence in the world, like things that
Yep.
will
Yep.
advance as we, continue with the very fast pacing of like montaging through time and stuff. So
またここへ来るわよ。
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes! Please, like literally, let's go faster now. Like,
Right.
あんたもミリスに行くの？
Little lady and big man.
家の道ですね。
Oh.
Damn.
They also build the Eldian Empire? Like, huh.
なんだあれ。
Yeah. A marker? Whoa.
七大列強。
Okay.
Shit. Oh, interesting.
All right.
厄介な連中に絡まれないようにつつましやかに暮らせってことだろう。
Hmm.
ルイジェルドでもかなわないやつなんかと敵対したら命がいくつあって
Ha 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 ha.
That was such a good
That
episode.
was a
Oh
really
my
great
god.
episode. Yeah.
Like
okay,
that
good
was such
episode,
a sweet,
right?
heartfelt, tender episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It had a little bit of everything too.
It really did.
It had the comedy, it had the action, it had the high quality animation, it
Yep.
had the emotional character development,
World
it had some
building.
world building, and it had some cool stuff to recontextualize a character that we've known for quite a while up until now, but we haven't
Yep.
seen. Who probably also got yeeted somewhere by the crazy spell that went off.
And I'm sure we'll run into her again, and she will have kicked the ass of whatever was in that general
in years,
vicinity.
probably. Like,
Right.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the other thing.
it was 3 months.
3 months.
3 months.
I didn't expect them to spend time with this village, but I guess it makes sense because medieval travel, it's tough, right? And if you have
Rainy
some-
season.
rainy
No,
season, they
you're
live
not
by a bunch of
traveling.
waterfalls and stuff, so it's flooded. Darn, right?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it wasn't even waterfalls, dude. I
Oh,
think
yeah?
this was just
This is
how
just the
much
amount
rain
of
they
rain.
get. It
Yeah, which
floods
is-
the area.
Which is a fun thing to think about because then that's an additional little bit of world building on something as simple as the weather patterns of the
Right.
world. You know,
There could literally just be some kind of god level caster somewhere that just is constantly casts spells
Right.
to enrich the fields of a specific area, and this area gets the after effect and it
Yep.
turns into floods because they don't have the proper
Right.
water duct system or something.
some crazy storm magic was cast a long time ago, and
Sure.
the residual stuff is still sort of, cycling
Who
around.
knows?
Places.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
But here we go.
Yep,
We get
it's-
a nice little just cozy episode.
Exactly. It was fun. It was engaging. We had a very good balance, I feel like, of the broad stroke stuff for the world
Yeah.
and these small, intimate, quiet moments with these characters who haven't even been in the story long, right? And we're not going to see them for a long time after this, right? But in that amount of time, we got some great characterization with them. We got to see them connect with other characters that we know and love, but then also see those characters, namely Eris in this case,
Namely Eris, yeah.
see how much she's grown because she's able to have the patience to teach them things, hold back when one of them picks a fight with her over something, I love this so much.
Yeah. Eris has changed a lot, and that's obvious. But one of the things that's really cool about this is we haven't seen her being put into a position of, responsibility as much. This is something that primarily she kind of avoided, and she pushed a lot of her problems onto Ghislaine. Ghislaine's not here. So this being a situation where she's like, oh, I need to kind of channel Ghislaine. Okay, I can do that. Now, obviously, Eris is not Ghislaine.
Nope.
So she's not going to do it perfectly. But she can actually do a pretty great job if she dedicates her, her focus to this.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of it is because, she finds them super freaking cute, and she's like, yeah, of course, I'm going to teach you stuff, whatever. And also, she hasn't really had too many peer friends,
No.
This is something that's just a really thing that I've been worried about Eris in general, is that she seemed to be the kind of person that was kind of developmentally kind of fucked over by her
family and everything.
And that she might not just be able to have genuine, real relationships, because the one with Rudeus is not a normal relationship. It's got all kinds of other things going on with it as well. So having just wholesome interactions with Tona and Tisserna or what have you. Yes.
Awesome.
Super
Love
sweet.
It.
Yeah.
Also, one of the things that I want to point out that was really cool that happened here is we got to see Eris be in a situation where she had to resolve a conflict with words.
Yes.
With the dad, right?
And she didn't really do a good job at it.
But she did a hell of a lot better than she normally would have, because because previously when she would have issues with people and things like that, she would punch them, she would run away, things like that, right?
I mean, she can't.
No,
probably literally would.
She can't run. She can't run very far in this case, right?
And
but
punching, yes, probably would have not worked.
Well, I mean, who knows? Like they're both close enough to actually compete, right? Even if he did end up winning. But my point with that is that even before, when Eris would beat people up and stuff, it wasn't necessarily a question of whether she would win, right? It was an outburst because she didn't have a good handle on her feelings. And the thing is that just because she has gotten a better handle on her feelings doesn't mean she'll have a perfect handle on her feelings. And it doesn't mean that her feelings won't be outbursty and all over the place, right? It's a question of what she does with that, right? So the fact that she follows after him, right, and says, no, Ghislaine isn't like that. She's like this, right? I respect her, blah, 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 all this stuff. I don't want to hear you say those sorts of things. Was it totally, could it totally be seen as a childish outburst? Sure. But this kind of childish outburst, that's big progress for Eris.
Yeah, the thing that's cool about this, I would say, is that this is undeniably big progress for Eris across multiple areas in this episode, because we covered a couple things with regards to Eris. But that is an example of where she's not making, I would say, the majority of her progress. The majority of her progress is with regards to, I would say, how she personally views the world around her.
Okay.
And basically how she's able to reconcile that with her own internal state. With this instance here, she basically saw someone say something that she knew to be wrong.
Right.
And rather than just, being, oh, okay. Well,
yeah, more of Rudeus's response. Yeah.
Right. Kind of a thing of where, you don't know Ghislaine like I do.
Mhm.
And let's be real, if she left at what age? You probably know her less than we do as well.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
not just in the fact of that was seen more recent, but even if, like, they knew, like, even if Gies knew, like, an internal aspect of this is on a level that I would say is a bit beyond Eris's, kind of maturity and comprehension.
Yep, and that would require a bit more, like, details surrounding the event and, that she didn't necessarily have at that point.
But it's the kind of thing of her, rather than asking questions, she kind of blurted out almost a thing of, fight me, how dare you, see
Right.
who do you think you are? And it's like, okay, Eris, hold on one second here. Tact is very important here. One of the things that I see as big progress here primarily is that she did this with words. That's the progress.
Exactly. Yep.
But the way she did it with words actually felt to me of more of a thing of where it's like, okay, she might actually not have progressed here at all. Well, and it's just that she knows she would get her ass beat in a fight.
Potentially, but go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say, but the fact that she eventually kind of pulled back because Rudeus stepped in shows kind of that it was more of a thing of where she was also frustrated at the fact that nobody was standing up for Ghislaine.
Sure. Yeah.
So she's like, well, Ghislaine would always come to my aid if I needed it, so I would do the same for her. It was part of her being like, I feel like I'm channeling Ghislaine as well.
It was her own form of taking responsibility, if you will, for the fact that Ghislaine saved my life. I want to pay her back in whatever way I can.
In whatever way I can.
Right.
Yeah.
So if people are bad mouthing her, I'm going to stand up for her.
For sure.
One of the other things that I like about this doesn't tie as much to Eris's development, but it helped provide a lot of opportunities to show what was his name? Gves?
Yes.
Yes. To show Gies's growth, both with the sensitive subject of Ghislaine. Okay, cool. So we see some imperfections there.
For sure.
See how he responds to Eris's outburst, and the fact that even though it takes a while, right, and you can see that he's a bit upset, eventually he's like, "You actually respect her, like Ghislaine? What? She's your teacher?
What?
Like that." That doesn't make sense. And then
he's open to new perspectives.
Exactly. Characters that we haven't seen for very long. We got multiple instances of side characters growing over the course of the episode.
Totally.
And the other reason why I like the bit with Eris as well, with her outburst,
for sure,
is that that's something where we get to see a way in which, even though she has grown, she's still not perfect.
Yes.
And I think that ties in nicely with Rudeus's development because, yes, she is changing. Rudeus is changing. Time is passing. But it's not being done of we have a minor time skip and then we're going to show how they're different now.
Right.
But we don't necessarily, because it's a time skip, we have to infer and get in montages and stuff, a lot of the little things that are the showcasing of them growing incrementally, right? It's not just they just become a completely different person. So that was something that I thought added a lot of nice flavor and sort of weight to all of the other smoother ways that she has grown.
Sure. Yeah. And then also just the setup, like you're saying, for what they did this episode by having Ghislaine's change be a parallel for Rudy's change into Rudeus.
Yep.
And this is something that's very, very, very simple and straightforward, but it's very effective in that Ghislaine right now, we don't know what her situation is. She could be dead. She could be just yeeted to another continent.
Who knows?
We don't know what her situation is.
Right.
But by bringing up somebody else from her past who can then go, she was this. Now she's this. What happened to make her like that? We don't know. It doesn't matter. A lot happened.
Right. The sword master took her away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some story that happened there.
Yeah,
There's probably a really cool story, and maybe we'll get a spin-off of it. Maybe.
Or maybe we'll meet Ghislaine and she'll tell us a bit of that story.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that time was something where someone who was close familially to Ghislaine essentially gave up on her.
Right.
and said, we'll cast you out.
Yep.
And we won't even want to be associated with you.
Right.
That feels
she might
very
be dead or
eerily
something.
familiar to you, doesn't it,
Yeah.
Rudy or Rudeus?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because, like, regardless as to, like, whether or not they had actually abandoned you, because you very quickly died after, you know, getting, like, kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gotta hit a little different for you.
Oh, yeah.
And knowing that, yes, people can change is a big deal. But the thing for, Rudeus's case here, he has no way of knowing, but this is something that I wonder if he thinks about, whether or not he was capable of changing outside of the reincarnation. Meaning that in a lot of ways, reincarnation, like, gave him the opportunity to change.
Right. It was the best thing to ever happen to him.
It was the best thing to ever happen to him.
Yeah.
And yet, is that something where he feels kind of beholden to change because of the reincarnation?
Yeah.
Or is it a thing of where he's like, I don't know if I can change, but I know that I have changed.
Right. It's
Like,
something where
yeah.
I feel like it can be very easy when coulds are brought into the equation to just say, well, of course you can, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But on a practical side, it's and this can be used in a pessimistic kind of way.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean that.
People never change, you
No,
know?
right, exactly. It's the you can, but you won't, that kind of a thing, right? And that can definitely be used from other people that are wanting to be judgmental and stuff. But there is an element of acceptance that can come from the idea of, even if I can change, maybe in this environment, I'm not going to.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
The habits that I have, it's not reasonable to expect that. In some ways, similar to Paul realizing that my son is not going to change here. He's not really going to grow.
He needs to have an environmental shift so that he can adapt to that and be forced to change, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot that can be said from the way they use this episode to parallel those two characters, but also the idea that Rudeus might actually be thinking about this in a hopeful perspective of like, if Ghislaine can change that much, then I now know I can say this.
Right.
People change.
Yeah.
That's not him necessarily saying it with like I know this empirically as a fact that is the case because, if anything, my life has been an example of how, because of one really fucked up sequence of events, I then never changed. I stayed the exact same way.
All the way up to the incarnation,
all the way up to,
just one big downward spiral, basically.
Yeah, all the way up till the miracle happened.
Right.
And I was brought over.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's a really exciting thing to think about.
That was one of the other things that I wanted to bring up about the episode, because obviously Eris and the other, damn it, I'm forgetting the beast, but the Beastkin's names, they were the stars of the episode, right?
Sure.
But we got a lot of really good characterization from Rudy in the times in which he's being quiet and the little things that he says, like people can change, or people change and all that. And I just, it's something where I feel like I can't, a lot of the times, there are times where the thing that the episode's doing that I love so much is obvious, right? And I can point it out, right? Rudy saying the line of people change, right? Eris getting in a fight with the Beastkin, girl because, oh, you're gonna leave. No, stay here forever, right?
Right.
But then there's times where there's something that I can't actually put my finger on, right? I have the sense that it's happening and I love what's happening, but I couldn't actually verbalize what it is or why it is. I just am experiencing it.
Yeah.
And that,
I think you're just experiencing a good anime.
Yeah.
You're experiencing an anime that just has a lot of heart and effort put into it. And it's also just something that's, good source material that's getting adapted as well.
Exactly. And that's
just coming to life.
That's the thing that just really makes me continue to fall in love with this show, because I love fantasy, right? I love dragons and magic and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I love it so much. A lot of the time, though, it can feel like a zero-sum game where if I want to get the fantasy and the magic and the dragons,
you have to suffer through all this other nonsense.
And not necessarily nonsense, but just getting less of the other stuff that I like, right? Because of the
okay.
time being spent developing the world and things like that, and all of this stuff,
Sure.
right? Then I don't get as many intimate moments of something as relatable as
Emotional characters.
Yeah, emotional characters. And, oh, you're leaving. Goodbyes are really painful, not just if you're dying or something, but just you've been spending time with us, living with us, and you have to go. And also, I think maybe just the fact that it was a 3-month thing and like a season, I spent a lot of my time growing up from like 14 to, 20 in another part of the state, right? Because I had a summer job and it was great. And, Caleb had the same summer job and stuff. And it was always so hard whenever the end of the summer would come up and we'd have to realize we have to say goodbye. We'll see each other again, right?
Totally.
But it's hard, right? Because you've gotten really close in that amount of time. Being in a small village where you're kind of trapped there and not much happens will do that to you, right?
Yeah.
And so having something like that in this, where we also have the dragons and the magic and the seven great powers and, and like, I love that stuff.
Yeah,
and we also get this. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
We're spoiled.
Yeah, we're spoiled.
Like,
yeah, I really love the inclusion of the 7 great powers as a way to tie in what I would call probably one of the things that typically I would say is something that I'm not really confused by in fantasy, but this show every once in a while confuses me in this regard, is a god is not actually a god in the strictest sense.
Right, not necessarily. Right, yeah.
But sometimes they might be.
Yeah,
so,
what is a god exactly?
So by having all these people be named gods, I assume they are not actually omnipotent beings, because one of them is the dragon god, and also like
they're ranked
sword god, which means they're probably not actually, omnipotent gods.
Right.
But they are probably some kind of ultimate, highest level caster or, swords person of great renown. And yes, some of them might be dead at this point.
Well, and
they're so legendary, they still remain on this spot there, even though we have no evidence to support that.
No one else has come along that would surpass them, so they might just be buggering off for a few centuries, or who knows.
Well, that's the weird thing, is that Laplace was known as the demon god.
Right.
And we know he was defeated.
Right.
But the thing of them maybe not knowing whether or not he's dead might be the thing that's like, where things can get some funky areas here.
They were kicked out of the prime material plane. They were sealed away, or something like that.
Well,
and it was three heroes that ganged up on him. So
that's literally what we know. We know that Laplace was actually like raid bossed.
Right, exactly.
Some 3 heroes gathered a whole group of other people as well, and
they fought
kicked
Sauron
his ass
and defeated him.
Yeah, and the question is too. We don't know whether or not the top 4 are, what is it, alive or dead? I think it was the first 4, which is hilarious because the demon god was the 4th one. Yeah. So it's wait a minute.
Right.
Ruijerd was training to hope become one of the 7 great powers. I hate to break it to you, but no one knows that the top 4 are alive or dead. Which means, Geese, either your information is old, you don't really know that much about them, or if it's just a thing of where he can't count because, the demon god is 4th. And I'm like, so
I guess people don't know if
Laplace was actually killed. Yeah.
I feel like there is a part of that kind of makes sense, though, because if you get to that level of power, it's something where it's like we believe we killed it, but
we defeated them.
But death doesn't always stick for these kinds of beings. So,
Sure, one of them is called the Death God. So
right, exactly. So it's like...
They could be a lich.
Yeah. Will they get reborn or reincarnated or, or something like that? Who knows, right?
I just want to throw out an idea here, just a silly idea here. But Technique God is a monk. And I want to throw out this something that I think is actually hilarious, is that I think a monk is the strongest being in this world.
All right.
So all they have is key techniques and stuff like that.
Well,
Dragon God is actually like the closest one in power next to that, and he's actually like, he beggars belief in terms of how powerful he is.
Right.
But, you know, if he went up against the technique god, he'd just get punched to death and ora. And
what I love about it is that technique god, that's fairly vague.
Yeah.
Like dragon god. Okay. Battle god. Sure. Demon god, death god, sword god, north god. Because sword north, you know, it's like, okay, it's fighting stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
But technique god, these magical techniques.
Right.
Is this like
That's why I think it's a monk.
It could be just about anything, you know.
Someone that's honed their body perfectly. That's my thing there. And then they have all kinds of techniques. They can shoot kamehamehas.
Well, and
it's Goku.
And where does the man god fit into all of this, right?
Right. Because man god isn't on the list.
Right. Because maybe it's like, oh no, you're a god, that's fine, but you're still not one of the 7 powers, right? Because being a god, it's like, okay, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We're in a polytheistic universe where like God doesn't necessarily mean all powerful. It just means you're real powerful.
It doesn't actually mean anything about polytheism at all, because they don't worship these beings necessarily.
Right, yes.
All this means...
Yeah, we haven't actually seen anybody worship them. We just know that there is...
Well, no, we've never even seen religion, really. Like,
right, I think... Is there any kind of... Has there been any reference to any kind of, like, divine magic or anything?
Well, yes, that's literally the highest level, is divine magic.
Oh, no, right.
Yeah.
But that's godlike, not from a god, necessarily. So
It means it's just the highest class.
No, right.
That's the thing. It's God and divine or what have you doesn't mean anything but its source. It just means how powerful it is.
I always have to remind myself with this show that healing does not mean cleric, right? Because all mages can theoretically heal. It's just one of the branches of the styles of magic. Basically.
Well, right, yeah. Attack, healing, and summoning, because it gets that simple, basically. Are you doing creation magic? Oh, okay. That's cool. You're summoning. Pretty much everything else can be boiled down into
you hurt things or you heal things.
You support or you top lane.
Right. Yeah. Support or carry. What are you doing?
Yeah. Support or carry.
But like, yeah, I feel like this episode is just a testament to how much of a passion project this story is on a whole bunch of different levels, and like what is there even to expect with this show when it keeps surprising me like this? And not because like I wouldn't expect there to be like really good like character stuff in the show, but it's just even so it surprises me. And
it's just good fun anime with a fantastical world, and we get a lot of it. So,
we do.
Yeah. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.